The war that burned the world. The story of World War II. Once upon a time, not in one country, but across the entire world, people believed that after World War I, there would never be another great war. But they were wrong. Fire. In Germany, a man came to power whom the world would know as Adolf Hitler. He told his people, "We have been humiliated, and I will make Germany great again." The people were tired and poor, and they believed his words. He built an army, he built weapons, and he prepared for war. The storm begins in 1939. In September 1939, the German army attacked Poland. Tanks rolled through the streets, planes bombed cities, and suddenly the world was at war. Britain and France declared war. A conflict began that no one knew would take so much blood. Conquest of Europe. Germany captured country after country: Poland, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Norway. France fell in just weeks. Europe was covered by the shadow of the Nazis. Only one country stood firm: Britain. At night, bombs fell. Children slept in shelters. Cities burned in flames. The attack on the East, Russia. Hitler turned east and attacked the Soviet Union. Millions of soldiers were trapped in the brutal Russian winter. In the city of Stalingrad, a battle was fought that history remembers as the bloodiest of all. Snow was stained with blood, and for the first time, the German army was defeated. America enters the war. On the other side of the world, Japan attacked the American base at Pearl Harbor. The United States entered the war. Now the fighting spread in Europe, in Africa, and in Asia. The whole world became a battlefield. The death camps. In the heart of the war, a dark secret was hidden. The Nazis imprisoned millions of people in camps: Jews, Roma or Gypsies, the sick, political enemies. They were starved, burned, and killed. History named this crime the Holocaust, one of the darkest chapters of humanity. The Day of Destiny, D-Day. In 1944, American and Allied forces landed in France from the sea. Soldiers stepped off boats under heavy fire gun. The sand of the beaches was colored with blood, but they moved forward. Europe slowly began to be freed. The fall of Berlin. The Soviet army came from the east, the Allies came from the west. Berlin was surrounded. Hitler hid in his bunker, and when he knew he was defeated, he took his own life. The Nazi flag was lowered. In Europe, the war was over. End in Asia. But Japan was still fighting. The United States dropped 2 atomic bombs, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Cities were destroyed in a single moment. People burned in light. Japan surrendered, and World War II came to an end. Price of war. What was the result? More than 70 million dead, destroyed cities, countless orphans, broken nations. The world learned war has no heroes, only victims. Legacy of war. From the ashes of this war, the United Nations was created, human rights were written, and the world said, never again. But will it truly be never again? End of the story. This was the most watched and bloodiest story in history, World War II, a story that showed when hatred rules, the world burns, and when humans learn, perhaps the world can be saved.